Holy cats, this artichoke has more hair than I do. Oh, hey, it's me, Ciscoe Morse, and here's what's coming up on Gardening with Ciscoe. You're not done in the garden yet. It's time to plant some fall-growing veggies. We'll tell you what to grow for your garden's second act. Lavender isn't the only thing growing in the Sequim Valley. Find out why this incredibly expensive spice thrives here organically. Peaches, plums, and pluots. Oh my! It's time for stone fruit, and Lynne has a simple dessert that works with any that you have on hand. Our plant pick is a bright berried cousin to a native that you see everywhere. Find out why it's a great addition to any garden. All this is coming up right now on Gardening with Ciscoe. Ciscoe Morris.
And I'm Meeghan Black. Welcome to Gardening with Ciscoe. Today we are at Seattle, Tilth, their Good Shepherd Center. It's such an awesome place. They have so many incredible resources. If you want an urban garden, if you want, well, chickens running around, if you want to compost, everything you need is right here.
Yeah, and they're gearing up for their big harvest fair. Oh, man. It's really a great bash, and it's free.
I love that.
You know, this isn't just the time to harvest. You can plant a lot of great vegetables in our mild fall weather.
So now that Ciscoe has thoroughly disappointed me and offended me and crushed my day by talking about fall, let's get to work, shall we?
Yeah,
we haven't had a summer yet, for Pete's sake. And now we're talking fall vegetables. But we have a little kohlrabi. I have never had kohlrabi.
You've never had kohlrabi?
No, that I know of anyway.
Right out loud. It's this German cabbagey little ball that grows above the ground.
Does it taste like Brussels sprouts?
No, I wish it did. It's almost as good.
Radishes are good. Yeah. Lettuce is good pretty much any time.
Lettuce this time of year, because you're not going to get a head of lettuce.
And cilantro.
Yeah, cilantro. I love cilantro in Mexican dishes.
Okay, so let's get this thing.
Yeah, good complete fertilizer. So, and...
a generous amount?
Yeah, because, we're going to use a couple cups per 10 square feet.
Wow,
that's
a lot.
How big is this?
Yeah.
Meeghan, we need something else.
What's that?
We're going to put about a handful of blood meal in here.
What's the difference between blood meal and bone meal?
Blood meal is...
Ew, the color for one thing.
Yeah, it's actually made out of blood. And what this will do, it breaks down real fast.
Holy cow.
The little critters in the soil eat this up. Now, only time I do something like this...
Is that enough or more?
Yeah, that's perfect. I do this in the fall.
Stinks, too.
Yeah, it does. It repels animals. When they smell this, they think, hey, somebody ate somebody around here. I'm staying away.
So what else would you use blood meal for?
Well, it's almost always when you want something to grow really fast.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah,
We've never used it before.
No, we almost never. I never feel a need to use it, but...
With the vegetables?
Yeah, when you're planting in August, you don't have forever for these vegetables to get big enough to eat, All right.
Let's just see what these little kohlrabi dudes look like. Oh, they're just little black guys.
Kohlrabi, normally you eat by the time it's 2 inches in diameter. It tastes like a kind of a mix between a cabbage and a broccoli, I'd say.
Really?
Oh, really good.
Good cooked and raw?
I eat it raw all the time.
All raw?
I guess you can cook it, but I eat it in salads.
Okay, so what's next?
Hey, how about some leaf lettuce?
Good idea.
I love, we're going to make our salad here,
Oh, and there's nothing like fresh salad when everything else is done.
Oh, I love it so much.
So we'll move him over just a little bit.
Yeah.
And do another little row, right? Can you do some of these in a pot if you don't have room in your garden?
You sure could. Yeah. Really easy, but you want a low, wide pot.
Okay.
That's the key. Definitely want some cilantro.
Okay,
here,
awesome. So
cool.
Blood meal, some good all-purpose fertilizer.
Yep.
Plant these babies in really shallow.
And one last thing.
What's that?
That's you got to water them in, of course.
Okay, I'm getting out of here for this one.
And you got to keep these things evenly moist. Actually get pretty mature.
Okay.
Because, it's a dry time of the year right now.
Well, they're so shallow, if you put too much water on them, you might drown them.
You hit it. Oops.
You might just send them flying downstream.
La la.
Unfortunately, you know, the kids are barely starting to think about going back to school.
Yeah.
The leaves haven't even changed yet, and we're talking fall veggies. But if you want them, you got to do it
That's
now.
it. You'll be glad you did it, even though it's a little depressing while you're planting them. You know, if you plant things right, you could be harvesting even after Halloween.
And there's nothing like that stuff fresh out of the garden.
Oh, yeah. Parsnip, beets, onions, all of those are just so delicious.
Leeks.
Oh, yeah, leeks.
And we all know that sometimes September, the weather's even better than August, although I don't know how you can beat this. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Seattle Tilth. Now, here's an idea that you can't pass up. You want to get rich?
Oh, I'll go for that.
Rip your entire garden out and plant nothing but saffron.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I like crocus, but nothing but crocus?
It's the most expensive seasoning in the world. There's a couple over in SEQUIM that are growing this exotic and expensive spice. They're doing it with the help of Hendrikus Organics.
This is good soil.
That'll go down this deep.
There's treasure buried in that deep soil, Crocus sativus bulbs. They grow the flower that makes the most expensive spice in the world, saffron.
This right here, it's a little bit more than odds. I'd say about $700.
Lynne Horst owns an organic gardening supply store and farms in SEQUIM. One of his crops is saffron. Hendrikus is visiting to see how his fertilizers have impacted Lynne's plants.
The trick to saffron is plant in the fall, use Hendrikus' products, plant them at least 3-4 inches down. Here in SEQUIM, when the rains come, these guys wake up in the fall.
Right now, Lynne's saffron crop isn't much to look at, but in the fall, these dry stalks will wick rain down into the soil and light purple flowers will emerge. Saffron is the red thread or stigma of the flower. Each crocus only makes 3 stigmas. It takes 70,000 flowers, about a football field, to make a pound of saffron, and that pound can retail for up to $5,000.
Oh, there.
Ooh, that's
Look
a
at there
good
he is.
size. Yeah.
Look at that.
Ooh,
Huh?
that's a nice
Look at
one.
that
Yo,
one.
You gotta check this baby.
There's a big one.
Lynne uses Hendrikus Organics bouquet fertilizer and Humagic in his crocus beds, and the bulbs show it. They can sell for $1 a piece, and these ones are multiplying rapidly in the enriched soil.
Awesome.
Oh, look there.
Oh, yeah.
Look how this has just been planted. There you go. Now that is a good. Must have been near bouquet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that bulbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So actually one bulb could make you $10.
Saffron gives dishes like paella a gold color and adds a distinctive taste. Lynne's saffron has a stronger flavor than most.
Here's the root system.
He claims it's the high organic content of his soil.
We're mining. If I take this out, I'm actually mining the soil. I have to put something back.
Yeah.
And that's where Hendrikus' products come in handy. And really, this is
Look at this stuff.
this is better than organic, huh?
Yeah.
So move over, lavender.
This could be a new thing for the valley here.
There's a new purple flower growing in SEQUIM.
Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from the Seattle Tilth Garden in Wallingford. Now, I love visiting this garden, not only because it's beautiful, but you could steal lots of cool ideas.
Yeah?
Check this out, Meeghan.
What did you steal,
You
garbage?
want one of these, don't you?
Yeah. What is it?
Well, you know, it's probably a takeout container, but they put this copper tape that you could buy at nurseries around the top. So no slug or snail will cross this copper tape. Because they build up static electricity, they get a shock.
Wow.
Oh, I love seeing the look on their beady little eyes when they get the shock.
You would. Hey, so I heard you were in the kitchen with my buddy Lynne Villa. What'd you make?
Oh, was I ever? Well, you know, it's stone fruit and blackberry season. Well, hey, I've got all the blackberries I need, to say the least, but now I've got to plant a nectarine tree. Yeah, because what we cooked, I want to have every day. Look at all this great fruit. You know, I hate to admit this, But I'm not even sure I know what all these things are.
Isn't it fun?
Oh,
It's like
it's so
a
exciting.
rainbow. I'm not
It
kidding.
is.
Yeah, you walk into our produce
Wow.
department and it's like incredible. Okay, so shall I give you a little
Oh,
tour?
please
okay.
do,
all right.
yes.
So we'll start with sort of the classic. These are yellow peaches, and then there's some white peaches, both awesome. Then we've got white nectarines and yellow nectarines. Okay, sort of the standard summer, peak of summer.
Good. Oh.
So what we're
Wow.
going to do today?
So, yeah, what are we
is
doing with
we're
all
gonna
this
take
stuff?
the some nectarines, although we're going to make a mousse and a super simple mousse, which you could do with any of these fruits. I just chose to do the nectarine because I like the kind of contrast of the
I'm
gold
glad you
flesh.
did. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
All I've done here is just cut the the flesh off of the nectarines, put it in a food processor, and made a puree. Left the skin on and everything.
Oh,
Super
okay.
simple. So you get that gorgeous little sort of mottled color
Yeah,
in there.
it's pretty.
Now we're gonna pump up the flavor of the fruit by adding a little sugar. I'll let you put that in there
Alrighty.
for me.
Okay.
This is raw cane sugar and then some lemon juice. So you can see we're taking the sweet tart of the fruit and making it sweeter and tartar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And look at the
I know.
size
Hey,
of
hey.
Oh. Darn.
You know, I
Oh, they
knew you
look
were going to
good.
do that.
How did you know?
Yeah, because you're like that. Your time will come.
Ow.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fold in a little bit of gelatin into that.
Okay.
So I soaked the gelatin and then I heated it up a little bit just so it's, the gelatin actually dissolves in there. And that's going to give it a little bit of body, all right? So when it sets up, it's going to give it a nice little silky texture, right? And then we're going to, maybe have a little splash of Cointreau.
Hey, what is Cointreau?
Cointreau is an orange liqueur.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
actually it's a tangerine liqueur. Yeah. So just a little splash of that. You don't have to do this. You could add a little orange zest or lemon zest to that instead.
Yeah,
but it's
but
kind of a nice
go
little
for
yeah.
this.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. And then as simple as that, Cisco, all we're going to do is we've got some cream that we've whipped up. We're just going to fold that in. Oh, there you go. Does that taste like summer?
Oh, does that taste like
I
summer?
know. All right, so.
So you're putting the whipped cream right
Yeah.
in there.
So what you do is you put about a third of it in there, and then you just kind of stir that in to lighten everything up. And then we're going to fold the rest of it in. And this time we want to fold it in kind of carefully because we want to maintain that lovely aeration. And you can
So-
kind of see, what were you going to say?
Not going to overdo it. You just
Exactly. We
very
want to keep it
lightly.
nice and fluffy. Exactly. And you can see why to the base of the fruit we added a little additional flavor with the sugar and the lemon, because by adding the cream we're sort of softening the flavors.
Right.
Yeah, and then once we get this all folded in, I'll show you some really pretty little ways to do presentation with it.
Oh boy. Yeah, I love presentation.
Yes, I know you do, and you love blackberries.
Okay, one of them fell out. I have to take care of
I
that.
think you better. Okay, so we've got that
Oh,
whipped cream
boy.
folded in there nicely.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, and it looks soft right now, but when you chill it, it'll set. It'll
yeah.
set way up. So there's so many different ways that you can serve this,
Yeah.
But what I like to do is just get some really pretty little glasses like
Those
this.
are
I like them
pretty.
to be clear, right?
Okay.
And then I put a blackberry in the bottom of each one. Would you
Oh,
like to do that?
that's a good idea.
Okay, and maybe two for you.
Yeah, let's put two in there.
Okay. Lovely. And then we're going to just dish some of this in here like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to float another blackberry on top. So if you would do that for me.
Yep.
Let me put a tiny little bit more in there. Okay.
Okay. One blackberry.
Yep, beautiful.
Oh, look at the size of that guy. Ba-doink.
Okay, beautiful. So we'll finish the rest of these up, get them in the refrigerator, and let them sit up, and then we'll have a little taste. What do
Oh
you think?
boy.
Okay, my dear. Really?
Where'd they all go? Oh, I'm getting full.
I guess you are. Well, I'm glad to know
I'm
you're
not
enjoying.
too full for
Okay,
this.
all right. Well, let's move on, shall we then? Okay. So anyway, now you can see your beautiful job with floating that blackberry
Yeah,
on there.
I
Very
did do
nice.
that very
Yeah, you did
nicely.
very nicely. So we're just going to finish this up. Okay, so just a little bit of whipped cream. And this is just to kind of give us a nice little textural touch.
Oh,
I just,
yeah.
you know how me, I like color.
Yep.
And then a little slice of our nectarine to kind of, sort of mirror what went in there. And then just a little bit of green.
Oh,
Just for,
yeah.
Isn't that pretty? Okay, now the fun part comes when we do this.
Because it's not too pretty to eat, I'll tell you that much right
Exactly.
now.
All right, I'm going. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so good.
yeah, the sweet, the tart, creamy, summertime.
Ice cream, forget it. From now on, I'm a Mousse man. Welcome back to Gardening with Ciscoe from Seattle Tilth at the Good Shepherd Center. This week's plant pick is a real beauty.
Your all-time favorite?
Oh, it is, as a matter of fact. Well, you know, it's related to a native plant. It has beautiful pinkish red berries, and the birds go gaga over them.
Ooh, it's absolutely perfect if you're looking for a little midsummer color. We are all about combinations these days. You can't just get one plant. You need two to complement, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Either that or it's just a good excuse to go shopping for another plant.
Exactly.
So we're going to start off with Joe Pieweed.
Yeah, you know, Joe Pieweed eupatorium is native to the United States, but most of them get 12 feet tall, but this one's called chocolate. It likes a nice moist spot in full sun, but this only gets about 4 feet maximum.
And does get flowers?
It gets white flowers really, really late in the season.
Oh,
it's
how
a beautiful
fun.
plant.
Well, I thought we would combine it with this is a coralberry. You say it's a relative to a native plant?
Yeah, the snowberry that you see all the time in the woods with those little white berries on it, this is a relative of that, but the berries on this are so much prettier.
It's called amethyst.
Yeah.
That's what makes the amethyst is the color of the berries.
And this shrub is a little better behaved than snowberry, you know. Hey, Meeghan, here's a perfect spot.
It's kind of nestled in between a couple lilies here.
Yeah, and you know, we want to put this coralberry where it's really going to get full blast and sun.
Okay, it'll start probably around 11 or so in the morning
great.
and last all afternoon.
And when you talk about a drought-tolerant plant,
This one.
this is it. Now, it drops its leaves in the winter,
Right.
but it is so tough. And, you know, they're hardy to minus 40.
And so that guy likes a little bit of moisture,
Yeah,
so we'll
so it'll
stick
be
him
right by the sprinkler. It'll block, because we don't want too much water to
Right.
hit this coralberry, so this will be perfect.
You want to pop that baby out?
Oh, yeah, you betcha.
See what those
this
roots
is
look
gonna
like?
be a little of a challenge.
Really?
Hey, this is a pretty cool little
Slide?
slide
A little,
here. I want to go on this.
yeah, you and Erica. Oh, man, look at those roots. It's that puppy's
yeah,
dry.
I got some work to do here. Over on this side, we got
Oh,
just some of this little low stuff that doesn't look too good. You know, these are so prunable.
Oh, that's another
Anytime you want, if it's getting too
My
big,
kind of plant.
anything like that. One more here.
drought
There
tolerant,
we go.
prunable.
Yeah.
Not unreal, and it's got a great little shape.
Indestructible.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's got a nice shape, and these keep their shape pretty nicely.
Okay. What is this guy called? Joe Pieweed.
Joe Pieweed.
And he'll be kind of
chocolate.
Chocolate. Great contrast with the different foliage around here.
Yeah, and this will get about this tall.
Perfect.
And then the white berries are really pretty. But this foliage will turn blacker and blacker as it gets a little more sunlight.
Too bad you can't go like that, but you know.
Could, you know.
You never know. So we're all about combinations here with Gardening with Ciscoe.
Yeah.
Finding the right 2 or 3 or 4
4 or 5
plants that go together that make, I want to do a whole spot in a garden.
Yeah, that's what I always like thinking of areas of the garden and then the whole garden as a whole at the same time. And you can have such a neat variety of plants and it all looks great together.
How fun. I love gardening.
Oh, isn't it fun? Okay, that incredible plant that we put in with our plant pick, Joe Pieweed.
Love that name.
And then the plant of the week, Amethyst Coralberry.
Not bad. Well, don't miss the Seattle Tilth Harvest Fair. It's coming up on September 8th. There's so much that you can do there. You can learn how to make your own mozzarella, make dyes from plants, bring a t-shirt, and you can press cider. There's music and food and craft booths. It's all free, but donations are gladly accepted.
So this is the 25th Harvest Fair that Tilth has put on. They are a true Seattle institution, I'll tell you that much right now.
So maybe on September 8th for the Harvest Fair, if it's hot like it is today, temperatures in the 80s, I have the perfect thing to do. Thanks for watching,
really?
everybody. Hey, go, Ciscoe! Hey, darn it, it's on this!
Oh, you're gonna get it for this!
Ah, nailed it!
Meeghan!
I love being a kid.